Hey, what's up, dudes and dudettes? Brad the Guitologist here. Today is sort out my tube collection day, and I've got all of my tube caddies out. And the idea here is I've got a bunch of tubes that are not in caddies and are not very well organized. I've got a couple of these caddies are completely full. I had to pull them all out because I wasn't sure which was which. But I thought maybe this would be cool to look at some tubes and just geek out on tubes for a second.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Napoleon, like anyone can even know that.
Probably not the kind of video a lot of you will like, but I'm just kind of fooling around here. Because I have to do this anyway to straighten this stuff up. And yeah, so thought I might just go ahead and show it. This one's pretty full. I do have a couple spots in here, but I've got a lot of 6-volt miniature tubes over on this side. You can kind of see more or less what I've got here. This is one of the first caddies that I had. I think this might have been the first caddy that I obtained when I started doing all this. It's been quite a while back. So a lot of the tubes that are in here I've had for quite a while. You can kind of see what all I've got here. I've got a bunch of Amperex 6BQ5s. A lot of these are pulls. Well, most of these that are over here are pulls from working amplifiers that I obtained in one way or another. A lot of these, like the 6973s and these Amperex 6BQ5s, came out of organs and things like that. Well, the 6973s didn't, but these up here definitely did. But got quite a lot of cool old tubes. There's a 6GW8. Several of those right there. Those are getting very rare also. 6V6 has got a lot of stuff in here that's, you know, for series filament amplifiers, or old series filament All-American 5 radios and stuff like that. There's a rectifier for one such circuit. There's another rectifier for a circuit like that. There's a 50L6 for that type of circuit. If you're wondering what these are, this is the filament voltage. This first number on most tubes is going to signify the filament voltage. And when you see one that's really high like this, like a 50L6 or a 25W5, anything higher than, like, you know, a 5 or a 6 or even like a 12, that usually indicates that this tube goes inside of a circuit, like that 35 goes inside of a circuit that is a series filament amplifier. So I've got, you know, a lot of them in boxes over here, you could see. So that's kind of what is in here. A lot of these are actually new old stock. There's a pair of 6V6 GEs, you know, stuff like that. So that tube caddy is pretty full. Here's a nice one. There's an EF86 in there. You're gonna be able to. Is it gonna focus? Thank you. Thank you. And that's an Amperex, or no, a Mullard. Excuse me. That's a Mullard. So nice old tube there. Here's another Mullard. That's a 12AU. Do I have a pair of those? Yes, I do. I have a pair of those EF86s. Sorry, that's my phone ringing in the background. I'm not going to answer it. I never answer my phone anymore. I've just gotten to the point where I just don't do it. I should just turn the ringer off then, shouldn't I? This is my GE tube caddy. It's in pretty decent cosmetic shape. This one's different in that it has a lock on it. So this one, oh, also I wanted to show these under here. So these came out of a Wurlitzer organ amplifier. And you see there, they're made by RCA. Some of you probably already know what this is. These, I have a pair of these, came out of a working Wurlitzer, and they are 78/68 RCA, beautiful tube, working tube, and the pair is perfect, works perfectly. Also have the, I think that's the rectifier out of that circuit. 6BC3, maybe not. Maybe that's not the rectifier. I'm not, or 5. Did I say 6? 5BC3. That is a rectifier, I think. You can look that up. I believe that's a rectifier. I'm almost positive. Put that there. But this, it's interesting. This tube caddy. It's, well, first of all, it's kind of interesting because when I got it, you know, it came with this this tube price sheet tacked on the inside, so you can kind of see some of the prices, you know, and they're ranging in the $2 to kind of $6 to $8 range for most of these tubes. But the thing is, you know, in the mid 1960s, $2 to $8, that's kind of a lot of money, you know, if you recall what you could get for that kind of money back in the 1960s. So that explains why this thing has a lock on it. So the service tech who had this, you know, if it was in somebody's house or something like that, he could lock it up. You know, I don't know under what circumstances you would want to do that, but you know, certainly you don't want your tubes stolen one by one out of your caddy. But at any rate, that's what we got inside of this one, and it's pretty full. There's not really a lot of room in here, so we'll go ahead and close that one up. This one is my newest. I think this is the newest one that I've gotten, this caddy right here, and this is a Sylvania, you know, designed for color TV tubes, I guess you could say. It's interesting in that when it opens, it's so low right here on the bottom shelf that when it opens up, they actually didn't bother making the hinges stop. Like most of these hinges on these tube caddies, they have a stop on them, so when you open them, they can only open so far, and they will kind of stay, you know, directly perpendicular like that, or parallel to the floor, I should say. This one doesn't do that. This one just opens all the way. The hinges just allow it to open all the way up like this, which I'm not the hugest fan of, but that does prevent those hinges from breaking. And speaking of breaking hinges, this one has a broken hinge, and it's not very well kept. This one's kind of, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it real well, but it's, you know, all of the vinyl covering is kind of come loose, and you know, it smells a bit musty, like it was left in maybe a damp garage or something for a long time. You can see it's, you know, like I said, all this stuff is coming loose. Right here we've got these doors right here are warped. This one's warped, and this one's pretty warped as well. And again, this hinge right here is broken off, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. And I just want to kind of spiff this one up and just make it in a little better working order. This one does still have the button over here on the little leather piece that buttons. This one has lost, well, not lost the leather piece. The leather piece is here. It does have the button, but the rivets are off. So what I might do is make up another one of these little straps and transplant the button over onto the other strap, and then re-rivet this, so at least this side will work properly. And also, oh, it's got a big big break up in here. You can see it's coming loose right here. See that? So that's coming loose, and it's got a big crack. So what I might do is cleat this crack a couple times, and then squirt some glue into that corner piece so that doesn't come loose anymore. The main hinges are pretty good on this, so it is a workable tube caddy, but I've got to fix it up, spiff it up. Not many tubes in this one, but what I did have, and I found this a little bit earlier, in the bottom of this was some of you might be screaming, you know what this is. This is probably from the 1940s, new tube. That's NU, You see the 807? There it is. There you can see it. 807. So this is an 807 tube, probably from the, if I had to guess, 40s would be my guess. That's the most likely candidate for a decade on that. I need to get a box for it, and I have another RCA 807 over here in this box, so I'm going to try to find I'll get an empty box to put that in for sure. Got a couple more bigger tubes over here. I'm not sure what they are. Let's see what this one is. Is that also an 807? This might be one too. No, this one is a 6. That's a 6CD6. That's what that says. So we'll put that back in that box. What is in these? Big Raytheon. I forget what these are. But anyway, no tubes over here. This sorter is just really dirty and musty. I think I might take all this out, this cardboard, and take it apart and just brush all the crap off of it and then reassemble it and put it back in here. I want to spiff this one up because it's in really bad shape, and I just hate having a tube caddy that's in that bad a shape. Speaking of bad shape, this one, when I first got it was coming apart on the seams on some of these sides, and it's doing it again on a couple of different sides right now. You see right here on this one, right there, it's starting to crack, so I've got to shoot that with some glue and fix that. Maybe even get in here with a block up in this corner and put a block right there, probably on that side too. The great thing about this one, I mean, look at those colors. Look at that advertising right there. That's fantastic. Reliatron. Everything tube related has to be a Tron something, right? But I love this caddy. I've never seen another one of these, a Westinghouse caddy like this, with Reliatron tubes advertisement on the side like that. Never seen another one. The cool thing about this caddy too is that it has a built-in filament tester, and it requires you to plug it in right there. I don't have the cord for it. Probably the cord would have, gone in here or in this side or something. They expect you to carry a cord with it. But just cool, man. Look, you just plug it into the wall, and then it gives you a filament voltage to test your filaments. Neon goes out if the tube is good. Where's the neon? I don't see a neon light. Is there a neon light? Interesting. I don't see a neon light there. But isn't that cool? A little filament tester. I've never seen another tube caddy like this. And then it's got a pin straightener right there. That pin straightener, I've thought about numerous times grinding those rivets off and taking that pin straightener and screwing that onto my workbench to have a pin straightener right on the workbench. That would be nice to have. But I don't know. I'd hate to take it out of the caddy because it's such a cool old caddy. I just hate to, since it had that in there, I'd hate to take away from it. But anyway, this thing is just chock full. There's no getting anything else in here. There's another EF86 right there, Amperex. That's new old stock. There's another Mullard EF86, couple more, three more of those. Just, a lot of 12-volt tubes in this one. A lot of the AX family, AUs, ATs, all that stuff. AXs over here. So I try to label them. If I find one that's weak or whatever, I do try to label that stuff. Okay, but weak. And that might be perfect in some amps, so you don't want to throw these away just because they're weak necessarily. 5879s, those are, you know, those are really valuable tubes. There's a couple right there. That Sylvania might be a new old stock. A couple more modern tubes. I try to label them also with what they are, like if it's a GE or an RCA, because so many of these are not in the original boxes. I do like to label them what they are so I could see at a glance. Got this caddy over here. This one is I think this is an Admiral caddy. Yep, Admiral tubes. So that's an interesting and different caddy. This one was missing the handle when I got it, so I took this handle. I found this handle right here on a guitar case. And instead of relying on this bit of leather right here, which will wear out and break, as you can see over here, this side is broken. I've actually got this on here with some zip ties. But this one's also pretty full. I've only got a couple spaces maybe for a couple bigger tubes in here. Lots of 6-volt tubes. I wanted to make this side over here 6-volt tubes that were used in a lot of, well, a lot of these. You'll see 6C4s, CG7s, excuse me. Those are used a lot in guitar amps. The GH8, that tube is used a lot in television circuits, but I've built guitar amps with that tube that I designed. So, but just lots of 6-volt tubes over there. This side, maybe there's a little bit of room, but not much. But you can see just kind of some of the stuff that's in here. 6X4 rectifiers. There's an EZ81 rectifier. 6CA4. There's an AQ5. A bunch of AQ5s, or should be over here. Yeah, AQ5s are pretty common in a lot of 60s amplifiers. I love the sound of a 6AQ5. Basically, it's a 6V6 in a miniature 7-pin. 6AQ5s. There's a lot of those over here. There's a new old stocks BQ5 Sylvania. There's a couple of EL84s there as well. Bunch more EL84s in boxes. So that's what's in that one. This video might also help me just remember what's in what, because when these tube caddies are, you know, shoved into my closet and they're all, I forget what's in what. So I end up having to pull every one of these damn things out to try to find a tube, and it's just helpful without printing something up and sticking it on the outside of the caddy, which probably is a good idea, to take an inventory of what's in the caddy and print it up and then stick it on the top, and then, or at least on the inside, maybe on one of these or something, you know, printing up what's in it. Actually be better on the top, because then you'd see it at a glance. But it would just be nice to be able to see at a glance what's inside, you know, the full inventory of what's in these caddies. It would make sense to do that, but I've never been accused of making a whole lot of sense, especially by my wife. So there's that. This one, this is one of my newer caddies that I've gotten. There's almost nothing in it. There are some things in here though that are very nice. Like for instance, I was in here earlier and I had forgotten all about these. You know, you put this stuff up, you kind of sort it when you first get it, and then you put it away, and you kind of don't think about it again until you need it, and you kind of forget what you have, you know, a lot of the times. You forget what's in it completely. But under here, there's 4 of these. I'm only going to pull out one, but there's 4 of these, and I'm going to get boxes for these. I should have done that. I should have done that already. That would have been the smart thing to do. But look at this. This VTL labeled. I've never seen a VTL label. I'm not sure what that would even stand for. Valve something. I don't know. But look at what it is. It's a GE made 6550, and I have a quad of these in here. There's a quad. I believe these might have been, if I'm not mistaken, I think they either came with this caddy, and I purchased it from a viewer of the channel, or they were sold, or they were sent to me. I can't remember exactly which. I'd have to go back through my videos to see how I obtained those. I think I might have had those in another video. But over here I've got, you know, a lot of preamp tubes and boxes over here. But the rest of these are unsorted. I mean, they're basically just put in here like this just to keep them from knocking against one another. I think when I got this caddy, all of these were just basically in the bottom of it, just knocking against each other, you know. So I put it like this, just kind of as a pre-sort. Hey, sweetheart. This caddy over here, let's see what we got in here. We got some octal stuff. There's a 6N7. There's an AC7. There's a 7591. Three of those 7591s. That's good. Cool. There's a 5AR4 rectifier. What are you doing? Some pointing, honey? I don't know what's in that, but I thought enough to box it, so it's probably something pretty good. A Marconi metal 6L6. That would be a really early 6L6. That right there is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of the first years for the 6L6 right there. We might get that out in just a second. All right, this has got the RCA metal 6L6 crossed out, and this is a big bottle 6L6G in there now, apparently. I don't even know if I have I even gone through this caddy? Man, there's an EF86 right there. There's another one. See, I don't even know what I have in here. There's an Amperex 12AX7. There's another is that an EL86? Yeah, EL86. $50C5, some 12AX7s. Is that a Telefunken? A couple Telefunkens. What's this? What is this? 5-pack, a handy 5-pack of GE tubes. Yeah, see, you really have to wish you could go back in time.
I take state.
What does this chart do? Gives you foreign tube interchangeability. See, like what is it? Foreign tube. EL37. An EL37. I've never heard of an EL37 for a 6L6GC. Look at that. I've never known or seen that those were interchangeable. I don't think anywhere else. That's actually cool. Ah! Get out of here. Look at that. I got a lizard in my house. Look at that. Little dude just poked right under the door. Check him out. Alright, dude, you're in the wrong spot. Why don't you just go right back out where you came from? Hang on. Is he a skink? Is he a blue-tailed skink?
I think so. No, a blue-tailed skink is the one that crawled in the plant last time.
Yeah, but I think that's what this is. I think he's a blue-tailed skink. Can you do me a favor? Can you run and jump onto the stairs? He can't get up the stairs. So just run and jump onto the stairs.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, now.
He's gonna get scared.
Now, go over there to that side, to that stair right down there, and see if you can shoo him. Here. See if you can use this piece of paper and just kind of shoo him out the door. Shoo him out the door. Okay, go. Get out of there. Ah! No! Yeah, left side. Go, 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 go. There you go. He made it. He made it. Anyway, I wanted the extra light. That's why that's open. Okay, so where was I before I got interrupted? Alright, this. Yeah, this is kind of cool, this little chart. I have a GE2 book. I might stick this inside of that just to keep it safe. The receiving tube replaced with the GE type, so it's telling you if you come across a 6V6, replace it with a 6V6 GT. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but you know, so this side of it's not all that useful, but this side over here with the foreign tubes is kind of cool. Foreign type, and then the GE replacement. And obviously it doesn't have every tube in existence, but it has a lot of the ones that you're going to see the most often. Some of these have a different heater current, not a direct replacement for series connection. Cool. That's pretty cool. Is this, what is this, a retainer? Is this retainers? What's in this? No, not retainers. That's a big 5U4G right there, big Coke bottle 5U4, and that is a 6L6G. Big Coke bottle 6L6. So they really deserve their own boxes. I mean, see what I mean? This is just, you know, I have no idea what's in these caddies unless I document it, and it's a big pain in the ass when you have to drag them all out to figure it out. There's a couple Sovtech 6L6WXTs. That'll be 5881s basically. Yeah, a couple of 5881s. From the Reflector Factory. What is that, from 1999? That looks in perfect shape. I don't think that's ever been in an amp. This has never been installed in anything. I don't know why they wouldn't be in their original boxes, but those look perfect. But I mean, you know, if I was looking for 5881s, like if I had a customer who needed some 5881s, I would probably assume I didn't have any. Because 5881s isn't, you know, at least Sovtechs. Because I don't usually, by default, assume that a customer of mine who is having an amp fixed is going to want to spend the money on new old stock tubes, you know, or something vintage, that's used old stock, you know, because a lot of the prices on that stuff has gotten so high. I just assume they probably want to replace with something kind of run-of-the-mill modern in most cases. So I would probably have ordered, if I didn't see those there, I probably would have just ordered a pair of 5881s if I could even get them right now. I don't even know the state of everything. There's some more Sovtech WXTs. There's some more 5881s right there. Another pair of them right there. So I've got two pair of those. Yeah, this one needs to be gone through. I've got some capacitors, just some random stuff. I mean, you know, that needs to be just taken out of the package and put with my other capacitors in my bins. I've got several stuff like that. What have I got down here? Like some old capacitors. There's a bag of some old stuff. EH150. Is this from an old Gibson amp? Probably. An old EH150. I presume. It's a picture tube price list. Are these all picture tubes? No, these aren't all picture tubes. Yeah, see, I've got, these need to go with my other retainers, and then I've got a couple of random capacitors in there. What's this? Chinese 606. Is that what that is? Is that what that means? Yeah, see, this tube caddy was an acquisition from somebody. I can't remember where I got this precisely, but I'm just not sure what came from what. So that's a 606 GC. That's an interesting. Okay. What does that say? The new tube. This is interesting because it's got a bit of a pinch up here on the top. Just an interesting shaped 6L6 GC. But yeah, you get the idea. I just wanted to kind of document sort of more or less what I have here in these tube caddies, because I've got a bunch of tubes over here that are just kind of random stuff that needs to go in one of these. Like all the stuff in this box and that bag and all of this stuff needs to be sorted and put into these caddies, but I don't really have a rhyme or a reason for how they're organized, so I need to organize all this stuff. But anyway, I just thought this one might make a halfway interesting video for some of you. But that'll do it for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hopefully the skink doesn't come back. And for now, we'll see y'all later.
You can leave. You guys are retarded.